So we'll just touch on the games and give you a play here, certainly, between Middle Tennessee State and Western Kentucky tonight. In a conference game here. Let me cue up the line. Let me cue up the current line, make sure I got it right, because I'm showing 6 and 60, and this one's kind of been all over the place. In fact, I'm showing right now one popular offshore book is currently at 6.5 for Western Kentucky now. I'd say the general window of the game has been between 7.5 and 5.5, but there were reports of the line as low as 4.5 and as high as 10 on a look ahead. Or was 4.5 a look ahead? I don't know if I have that quite right, but nonetheless, the line's 6.5 right now in this one. And that total at 60. Now, it is at the lowest point here right now. The steam came in on Middle Tennessee, so maybe it was off that high of 10. Middle Tennessee 1-3 so far, but they're 0-3 against Division 1A teams, and they've lost by they lost a couple of single-digit games, and they also lost by 49 points. Middle Tennessee 5-7-1 against the spread as a road dog. That's not that significant to me. Western Kentucky just 2-2. I mean, we know they have a pretty good passing attack, but man, 60 points, that's getting up there for me. I do know the handicappers kind of sticking to the over here on this one, but I'm not so sure about that. I have a feeling Middle Tennessee might be able to stay here within a touchdown here. One thing Western Kentucky does extremely well, they are, they get turnovers. They grab turnovers. They don't turn it over as much. Their turnover margin is very, very good, especially at home. Western Kentucky 8-4 against the spread as a home favorite, and also 12-4-1 against the spread in conference games. I think it feels like too many points still, though. Middle Tennessee, there's no doubt they're not performing as well as they have. But man, I probably still want to take these points. Let's see what you guys have to say in the chat. I know it's an unpopular side. I think Western Kentucky is going to be the choice. WKU for Ray, Blake WKU, and Nathan here says under is his lean. Hello to Ron. Thanks for sharing the spreadsheet play of the day. Let me write that down. Thank you, Ron. Good to see you today. And here is Thomas Lewis on Middle Tennessee State. Okay. So Thomas is on with me. I want to take Middle here. I know there's going to be a little bit of discrepancy in the chat here, especially if I'm on it with Thomas, but I'm going to take Middle Tennessee here, just plus 6.5. Wish I could get a little bit more. I'm going to bend it up and take a little bit more. I prefer Middle Tennessee in points rather than buying it down and laying a little bit of extra. Bo says he likes the under in this game. I will say this. I mean, the total has steadily gone down. It opened 62.5 when we did that circa opening line show on Sunday. And it was immediately bet down to 61. Now it's at 60. It continues to go down. I will say the over has hit in 8 of the last 10 games in this series. And Western Kentucky, they dominate this series against the spread. They've covered 7 of the last 8. But just 5-3 straight up. So a couple of times in there as they were underdogs and end up getting the money. So it always hasn't been a great spot here. Middle solos on Middle Tennessee money line in this one. How about that? All right, just give me Middle Tennessee State here. I'm going to take some points in this one conference game. Temple and Tulsa. Could be our little feature game here, I would think. Both teams come in 2-2. The Owls, they beat Akron, but then lost to a couple of Power Fives, Rutgers and Miami. They really couldn't stop the run, but that was probably a little bit tougher than this one is going to be, I would think. Now, Temple as a road dog is pretty dreadful. 2-9 against the spread in their last 11. They're also 8-15 against the spread as an underdog. But this one opened 5.5 and has now moved to 3.5. The steam has come in on Temple in this one. Tulsa beat Northern Illinois 22-14, but they also got crushed by a couple of Power Fives. Tulsa, though, 4-9-1 is a home favorite, so that kind of collides with what we were saying about Temple. Now they do pretty well in conference, 17-13-1 ATS in conference, and Tulsa, they're kind of mistake prone. They beat Tulane in each of the last 2 years, 27-16, 44-10. Solo says Temple is bad. Go under in this one. Total open 54.5 and jumped up a point to 55 on some widely reported steam. So Temple makes a lot of mistakes too. They give the ball up quite a bit. Of course, Kurt Warner's son is the quarterback of the team. He's a sophomore. This is his second year as the starter for the Owls. So, it hasn't been great times for Temple, but man, the moves on Temple, I kind of wanted. I thought I didn't think I thought the line would move in this direction, but when I saw 5.5, I was like, well, maybe it could be a touchdown. Maybe Temple is going to be a good side to look at. I think they are a good side to look at here, to getting a 3.5. I'm willing to take Temple in this game, and I have another close conference game, probably a low here. Darren's on the Tulsa money line, so these games might not be spectacular, but they might be close. Thomas says Tulsa first half. So I'm gonna try Temple in this one as a road dog here, getting 3.5 points. Pretty bad numbers against the spread. Not something I like to back, so probably not gonna. That's why it's not a premium here, but probably be involved in the total somehow. All right, Bo. Appreciate you very much. Thanks for Bo Dunn to stop by, and check out Bo Dunn. Bo Dunn Sports. Check out his videos too. He always has great opinion on his channel on YouTube. Very consistent, getting his videos up. Does a good job. It might be worth, just because of the intrigue, right? You ever want to I don't know what the equivalent might be. Those some things you just can't turn away from, right? It's like a horror movie, or what are some other things that you want to see it to believe it? Well, Jacksonville State is going to play Sam Houston State tonight, and I don't know. Could we see like a scoreless tie? This one, Jacksonville State is coming off a shutout victory. Sam Houston State has one of the worst offenses in 1A history after three games. So now I imagine things will go a little bit better in conference. I'm sure look, it's sad because Sam Houston State's a pretty good football program in the past. Maybe the jump was a little bit too much. How they're going about it, maybe maybe this is what we were going to get after all. You don't want to see this necessarily. I mean, they have 443 yards in 3 games, and they've lost their first 3 games by a combined 65-10. Now, the good thing is Sam Houston State has one of the best defenses in the country. Statistically speaking, scores, a good defense. I I don't want to get too carried away, but just trying to pump them up a little bit. I think the fact it's one of those teams that, fortunately the defense is so good that I can't make any excuses for them not being able to score any points, and it's going to be hard tonight to find the end zone. Now, they might do it. I mean, against Jacksonville State. Remember, Jacksonville State, they're new too. So this is their first season in 1A as well. So that's what kind of makes this intriguing, and that's why it feels like it's going to be some ridiculously stupid game that's going to end up with some score that doesn't that some kind of there's no scorigamis left in college football or anything like that. But it doesn't seem out of the question that the score could be 13-9 or 15-11 or 18-12 or something. Like what? And I think Jackson State will win. They'll probably cover. I'll take Jackson State. I mean, I don't want to lay 6.5, but I've got to here on the show. I hope they win 17-9 at least. Maybe it'll be 18-10, 19-10, 17-10. I want to kind of put it on a regular football score. In a lower scoring game, you're kind of going to, well, not always, right? Here's a little secret, you guys, for in-game betting. And I don't know if it'll happen tonight. But it's also true for pro. If you get a legitimate safety anywhere in like the first several minutes of a game, just bet the under. Just bet the under live. It already shows that like a real safety has happened, especially if you were teetering on it and you thought it was going to be a defensive game and some safety comes out of the blue. A real safety, not a hold. I mean, quarterback or running back gets tackled in the end zone, the defense gets all fired up. You're like, oh man, this game's under. This game, and it's 2-0. Just bet the under, even if it's 31. Okay, so Jacksonville State, I'm gonna take them laying the points here. I think they could shut them out. They could win 17-7. They could win 24-7 and you still win. So. Remember, Jacksonville State's coached by Rich Rodriguez. Good or bad, think what you want, but pretty high-profile coach there. And they were already doing. You talk about they're already plus 10 in turnovers. So they lost. Remember, their loss was to Coastal Carolina. They did not cover the spread in that one. They lost 30-16, getting 13 points. Now Coastal. It might be a tad bit down, but remember, Jacksonville State, new entry, Coastal, pretty good program. They still hung in there in that game. They already have beaten UTEP. They've beaten Eastern Michigan, and they were, pretty much crushing 1AA over the last couple of seasons before getting in here, 24-11, straight up, one of the better teams, certainly. So as far as Sam Houston State is concerned, they got a pretty good coach, been doing a pretty good job here. They were even better in 1AA. They, basically 5 losses in 3 years. So really good team, really good defense, tougher level, but they're playing of like ilk here. And almost makes me want to consider them, but just seems like such an epically bad offense here that maybe Jacksonville State is just a notch ahead. I'll take them laying the points. Privately, I'm going to make sure I'm laying under 6 points. But on the show here, I'm going to lay 6.5. And it's a free play on the show. All right. Did you enjoy that game, everybody? Thomas Lewis on Jacksonville State. Here's Solo going to buy it. He's going to lay 9.5 with Jacksonville State at plus 130. And Nathan talking about the line move in this game. Yeah, that's the way I saw it as well, Nathan. In fact, when we opened that Circa show, they were -5 when they opened at Circa. So if you've seen that, anybody want to see that live show that I did on the Tony's Picks channel? It was recorded at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 Pacific, where I give out the lines as they open and then the current line move at Circa within just a few seconds, really. probably 5-minute delay. But seeing how those first hits came into Circa, which has the largest opening limits, that's what they claim, and I don't think they're going to lie. They're like the most publicly out there book. They'll just challenge, like, all right, does somebody else have it? Let us know. We'll probably go earlier. All right, here you go. Solo Sam Houston won't score. Nathan says go under. Let's get it now, right? Feels like it'll get steamed here. It hasn't. I don't think it's gotten officially steamed yet to the low, which I don't know. It feels like that could be coming. I kind of want to take a peek here and make sure I didn't miss the move. No, there's been no widely reported move here on this total. You're talking about the move. Look, it opened 39.5 when we did that Circa show. I already was drooling at that point. I haven't even released it. Ray Otachi, Jacksonville State. We know what he means. Here, I keep saying Jackson State. I think we know the difference, but we know who Jackson State is. They've been doing a nice job. You knew it was going to go down a little bit after Coach Prime left. Some people say don't call him Coach Prime. Try to be more official. Call him, Coach Sanders. Thanks a lot, you guys. That's college football tonight. I'm on Jacksonville State. Appreciate your contributions.